All right, welcome back. Let's talk about let's catch some update on there's some news that came out today. Update on Mercy Chinwo, who is arguably the biggest, not biggest, but a very big gospel superstar. I think Sinach might be the biggest gospel superstar in Nigeria right now. If you don't know who Mercy Chinwo is, we're talking about this young lady right here. And the guy behind my head, sorry for my face, Easy T was the record label who signed Mercy Chinwo back in 2017. Abishi 19. Is it 2017 or 2019? Rattles, where are you all? Is it 2017 or 2019? Tell me, whichever one you think it is. Yeah. Your opinion is as good as mine. You're right.
Oh, you're right.
All right. With that being said, the Premium Times is reporting that as of was it today or yesterday? Okay, they're reporting that the judge, because the case is in court. So if you recall, there was a tussle back and forth between Easy T, who was the record label owner of Easy Concept, who signed Mercy Chinwo back in 2017 by paper, verbally, according to the Rattles, or 2019, according to the scratched out allegedly fraudulent paperwork that they have in place. Marius, good evening. How are you? So now, so there's he's holding her royalties, and she's holding on to some money, apparently, allegedly, the money that she made while she was out there performing, and they dragged each other here some few weeks ago for the money, but they're in court fighting over it now because this guy has been holding on to a couple of $100,000 naira dollars, US dollars. Okay, now if you remember, Very Dark Man came out actually in recent time. He's actually dragged Mercy Chinwo even further. If you ask me, in my opinion, he, excuse my French, it almost seems like he gets harder. Pause. When he's time to drag a woman, that's what it seems like. Okay, but I've seen him drag Nedusha. I've seen him also drag his kingmaker Tunde not so, maybe not so, but I've noticed that when it's time to drag women, he puts in a little additional effort. But anyway, the judge insisted that the bench warrant he issued against the defendant at previous proceedings remained. Who is the defendant? Okay, the Federal High Court in Lagos on Monday ordered Ezekiel Onyedikachi, a former manager of gospel singer Mercy Chinwo, to appear on 6 March. Trial Judge Alexander Owueye gave the order following Mr. Onyedikachi's absence from court on Monday. The judge insisted that the bench warrant he issued against the defendant at previous proceedings remained. The EFCC, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, charged not Mercy Chinwo. We get the gist, Rattles. Okay. It was Mercy Chinwo that paid the bloggers and the EFCC to arrest EFCC, right? That's what the Rattles are speculating. But that's not what we have on paper. The reality on what we have in the court is that the EFCC charged Mr. Onyedikachi before the court over an alleged $345,000 US dollars fraud committed against gospel singer Mrs. Chinwo. Blessed. Mrs. Chinwo alleged that the defendant diverted about $345,000 from royalty due to her. But the court had repeatedly rescheduled the defendant's arraignment due to his absence from court. But I recall that he was in court granting an interview to Channels TV and stuff. Anyway, I don't know the full details. On 16 January, the trial judge issued an arrest warrant against him following an ex parte application by the EFCC. I think he went to judge for something else. He was trying to drag them on another day in court for something else because he's trying to sue them too, right? The prosecuting lawyer Bilikisu Buhari told the court that her team was unable to effect service of the charge on the defendant who had been unreachable. The court, after issuing the bench warrant, fixed Monday for the defendant's arraignment. When they come back now, the writers might say they paid off the judge, which is very possible in Nigeria. I don't know if Mr. Chinwo has the power to be paying off a judge. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I'm just reporting today. Let me drink water. All right. At Monday's proceeding, defense lawyer Monday Ubani, a senior advocate of Nigeria SAN, announced that his client had filed a notice of preliminary objection against the trial. Yeah, that's why you won't show up to court. That sounds like Portable. Oh yeah, we're coming up with Portable story in a second. He sought to move the application, but the judge asked why his client was absent from court. In response, Mr. Ubani said he received a phone call in the morning that the defendant had a terrible accident. Excuse. The lawyer promised that the defendant would appear in court at the next hearing. The judge declined Mr. Ubani's request to move the application, maintaining that the hearing could not proceed in the defendant's absence. This honor, the prosecutor Rotimi Oyedepo and SAN described the procedure adopted by the defense as strange. By the way, I'm reading from Premium Times, Nigeria's Premium Times. He opposed the defense lawyer's request to move his client's preliminary objection, citing Section 396(2) of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. And my lord, and I quote, "My lord, it is a show of shame. It is a show of shame. An outright disrespect for this court for the defendant to be absent on 3 different occasions in a criminal trial," Mr. Oyedepo added. He informed the court that shortly after the close of the previous proceedings, the defendant was seen within the court's premises granting media interviews. He informed the court that shortly after the close of the previous proceeding, the defendant was seen granting media interviews. He described such an attitude as a shame and dishonor to the court. He said if the defendant was truly indisposed, as his client suggested, he ought to swear to an affidavit to show the court the proof. Mr. Oyedepo urged the court to issue a bench warrant compelling the defendant to appear in court to protect the integrity of the court. Although the defense lawyer objected and undertook to produce the defendant on his honor, the prosecution argued that defense honor or integrity was not an issue. Mr. Oyedepo maintained that the court should issue an order compelling the appearance of the defendant. Previous order stands. In his ruling, the judge noted that the court had not assumed jurisdiction over the case since the defendant's plea had not been taken. From the court's record, the earlier bench warrant still subsists as it has not been withdrawn. So it stands. Anyway, this is the reality of what's going on with Mr. Izati and Mrs. Chinwo. I hope they are paying attention. I hope they bring their guy to court. All right. Shout out to Black Diamond. I see Chinye in the room. I see all of you are in the room. Welcome. All right, so 345,000. No matter what the rattles do, very dark man. Let me advise you: read the court proceedings or whatever rulings, whatever they have. You read them. Stop listening to one side of the story. You see, today I'm a good guy. I didn't listen to one side of the story, right? We're just, Mercy Chinwo, yeah, she came, she cried, but she since has gone back to work. Now, we can also argue that Mr. EZT went back to work, right? But he has a bench warrant. I'm sorry, I'm sorry for you. Anyway, what do you guys think? At this stage, do you still believe that the contract that what do you believe? Who do you believe the most here? Do you believe EZT or you believe 3 choices? Do you believe EZT? Do you believe Mercy Chinwo? Right? That's what's wrong with you. You try to you hate Jerry Eze and Nathaniel Bassey. Do you believe her? Or you believe the Rattles? What do you believe here? 3 choices here. Okay, if you believe Mercy Chinwo, put a 1 in the chat. If you believe Izzy T, put a 2 in the chat. If you believe the Rattles, put a 3 in the chat or in the comments. That's all I have on the update for that one today. I'm going to wait patiently for this all to play out, right? I personally thought Izzy T was manipulative because he came out here trying to manipulate all of us. But then Mercy Chinwo was crying. They said the cry is crocodile tears. They say it's manipulation. Okay, all right, I chill. I'm going to chill and wait and see what happens. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We're moving on to the next segment right away. Welcome, Rena, Becky, welcome. I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.